This is wrestling with the WWE Raw review for January 11th, 2021. Now, this video will be split into two parts. The show does start off with Triple H. He talks to the virtual crowd. Then Randy Orton comes out. He has a list of demands. Triple H has some words for him. Randy asks Triple H for a match. Triple H punches him in the face. So at that point, it's not said if the match is going to happen or not. Going into the first match, I'll give that segment about 3.5 stars, 4 stars. Going into the first match is Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair. I give that about 2.5 stars. Lacey wins. Ric Flair is at ringside. Rick and Charlotte have some words for each other. Lacey goes for the pin, and Rick holds Charlotte's leg while she's on the ground so she doesn't kick out. I would say that was pretty good. As I just said, to give that about 2.5 stars. Going into the second match was Jeff Hardy, and Jackson Riker. Jeff does get rolled up, so he does lose that match. And then after the match, he asks for Elias. Elias then wrestles Jeff. Jeff wins. So I'll give those two matches. I would say maybe 3.5 stars. Now going into the third match is Keith Lee and Sheamus versus John Morrison and The Miz. I would say it's a pretty good match, 3 stars. During the match, the turnbuckle did go down. Keith and Sheamus did win that match. I give that 3 stars. Then after the match, Keith Lee wrestled Sheamus, and Keith Lee won that match. I'll give that about 3 stars. Then going into a segment with Triple H, he does accept the challenge from Randy Orton. I'll give that about 4 stars. You can watch all of these videos, the segments, the matches on the YouTube WWE YouTube channel once they do upload. Um, this will be the end of part one. Uh, so I'm gonna go ahead and upload part two for you, and we'll uh, be continued in part two, and I will wrap it up in part two. This is wrestling with part two of the WWE Raw show that was today for January 11th, 2021. Now, continuing where I left off, it does go into another segment with Drew McIntyre, and in the segment, he does say he doesn't want to accept Goldberg's challenge at first, but at the end of the segment, he does accept Goldberg's challenge. So I give that segment about 3.5 stars. Going into the next match was Xavier Woods and T-Bar. I'll give that about 3 stars. T-Bar does win the match. Then going into the next match was Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby does win. I give that about 3.5 stars. During the match, Bobby Lashley was attacking him before the match started. So they gave him a little of an advantage. Then Riddle has some words to say after he loses the match, and he asks for MVP. So MVP comes down the ring and they wrestle. It was a DQ. Bobby Lashley came in the ring and interfered. So I'll give that all together, the MVP match and the Bobby Lashley match, about 3.5 stars. Going into the next match, well, before the match, there was a segment with Pierce, Drew Gulak, and AJ Styles. I'm sorry if I'm not saying his name right. It was a pretty good segment. I give that about 3 stars. And then after the segment, was a match with AJ Styles and Drew Gulak. It was a pretty good match. I like the match. I'll give that about 4 stars. Drew is a pretty good wrestler. Two comments of the day. I think Bobby Lashley can go for the WWE title or the Universal Championship. I think it's time for him to go for one of those belts or both of the belts. And we do know who we want Bobby Lashley to wrestle. So Hopefully, they don't wait too long to book that match. I think it's time for him to go past the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. And I do think we would need to see more of Bobby Lashley on the mic, and that'll be good because he's great on the mic. Going into the next match is Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. It was a pretty good match. I'll give it. I think it could have been a little bit better. I'll give it about 2.5 stars, 3 stars. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax did win the match. Then going into the last match, wasn't really a match. There wasn't a referee there. It was just pretty much a brawl. And at first, Triple H had the advantage, and in the middle of the fight, Randy Orton looked like he was gonna win the fight. And towards the end, I'm not too sure what happened. Triple H threw Randy Orton into the steel steps, and I think his cheek uh got cut. I'm not too sure what happened. I don't know if that was supposed to happen or if that wasn't supposed to happen. So hopefully he's all right. And then towards the end, Triple H grabbed the sledgehammer, went in the ring, and the lights were slowly starting to turn off, signaling for Bray Wyatt. People might have thought Bray Wyatt was going to come out. And then he lit the sledgehammer on fire. The lights went out, and Triple H was no longer there. And then Alexa Bliss appeared, and Alexa was face to face with Randy Orton. And then, as a few seconds went by, she had a flame. It looked like a flame. I'm not too sure what it was. If anyone knows, any of my subscribers or new listeners know what it was, please comment. It looked like a flame. So I think she threw a flame in Randy Orton's eye, and he was touching his face. So hopefully Randy's okay, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen on the next Raw. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the notification bell. This is my first time doing a part one and part two for the review, so I thought I'd give you a little better review this time. If you have any comments or if you like any changes or any modifications for the review, you can contact me at nothingbutwrestling6 at gmail.com, or you can leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you for listening. See you next time.